I was reluctant to write. I mean, who want to read? I thought I'm nobody and things like that. But eventually I was persuaded to write. In fact, I sent out a fleece. I said that, God, if you really want me to write, at least must 10 people independently to tell me I should write. But more than 10 people have told me I should write after they hear my testimony. So after written it, it has served for one thing. If nobody buys it or read it, at least my children or grandchildren will read it. And in that sense, it's a legacy. When people talk about legacy, most people think about how to preserve the wealth over generation. I mean, it's good and nice to have able to preserve your wealth over generation so that, well, your children will be okay. But that is just very material. I would say that more importantly is that I would like to see, as far as legacy is concerned, I like to see this value of integrity is passed down from generation to generation, and my children and grandchildren is able to stand up tall to practice integrity, to promote integrity. I don't think integrity will go out of date. Integrity, as I said, is very closely tied up with justice. Yeah, and justice never go out of date. Anywhere in the world, any country, people will say that it's good to have justice. And also when people compromise, let's say a country, a lot of the backward country is because they are very corrupted. And people are unhappy because it's unfairness when there is corruption. And even, let's say, a country that is very high level of integrity, very good ethical practice, if they don't maintain it, it can start going down the hill also. So integrity will not go out of fashion the way I look at it. And it has a lot long-term value. It's an asset to any company, any individual. So I like to see the preservation of this value over generation. Well, most important thing I think is that the business or whatever they do must create value for the society, for the betterment of society. If that is what they desire to do, I said, go ahead, just do it. In fact, I started, co-founded, I would call that social enterprise called the incubator. Okay, incubator is basically to multiply and nurture entrepreneurs. Value-based entrepreneurs. So that the way they do their business is ethical, and I believe ethical business long-term wise would actually make the company grow. So, so we are involved in training, that means instructional. We are involved in coaching as well, using a C-trial material for CEOs. So CEOs coaching is very important because you can know the principle, you can know all the teaching, but when you hit the problem, how to apply it. And this is a peer advisory coaching. We meet once a month, group chaired by a very experienced business leader with the right values, and guide the discussion. We have issue resolution. Let's say the CEO of this company meets certain issue and he want to hear from the other fellow CEOs of company. So from the issue resolution, we say that, okay, this is what you should do. Maybe you try this, and is it in line with the, let's say, ethical business practices or not? Or some of, let's say, maybe sometimes this money people want to invest in you is black money. So even though you're attractive, you should not take it and things like that. So there is a coaching component. And I'm also involved in Mustard Seed Capital, other than incubator. Again, some like-minded people together, we start this, because one of the challenges of a lot of businesses is funding. So, and they have problem, especially company at the early stages, difficult to get funding or loans from the bank. So we are prepared to take higher risk based on our assessment of the company, that they are company that has the potential and will want to practice good value, we, after evaluating, we might either invest or lend the money from the fund that we have raised. So all these are helping to nurture and produce leaders in the marketplace that will practice good values. And hopefully there are more and more people practice that. It will bring about some transformation in the marketplace. Because right now, the surveys by KPMG and also recently ACCA, they interview CEOs of company, and many of them, majority of them, about close to 70% of them says that to do business in Malaysia, corruption is inevitable. So I pray and hope that this will change through perhaps some of these initiatives we have done, through the incubator, to the Master Seed Capital, and people like you, influencer, you organize a lot of meetings and functions. I think we share the same vision. We want Malaysia to become a more progressive country, create value for the country and for the people, for the betterment of society. So we are helping to develop a newer generation of leaders with strong value system. It has to be not the microfinance type, not too small. It also has to have a few criteria. Mainly we look at the entrepreneur, whether he is serious, sincere in running his business in a way that practice high ethical standard. That is number one criteria. Secondly, of course, he has a gifting or some talent in entrepreneurship. Not everybody can be entrepreneurs. So he has that. So he has the brain and the heart at the right places and can execute. There are some dreamer, remain the dream one, but action nothing one. So he has to have head, heart and the hand. First we look at the entrepreneur. Then he must have already put the skin in the game. Some of his own money, sweat, capital, whatever, and reach a certain level of some traction beyond proof of concept. Because we cannot just raise funds from some friends and then lend and all money cannot collect one. No, that is not sustainable. So it has to be beyond proof of concept, not necessarily profitable, but at least traction is there. Revenue is increasing. So these are some of the criteria that we would say that qualify for the loan or could be equity participation even. Yeah. So these are some of the criteria. So in that process, we hope that there will be a multiplication of good leaders in the marketplace.